Jobless claims down for the second straight week, 787,000 Americans filing for first-time unemployment. It is a small step in the right direction, but across the country, nearly 20 million people are still collecting some sort of benefits, and nearly 1 in 8 Americans say they do not have enough to eat each week. That's according to the latest census data. NBC News correspondent Jake Ward is joining me now. He's outside a food pantry in San Francisco. Jake, that food pantry just blocks away from some of the wealthiest tech companies in the world. Tell us what's been going on there.
That's right, Allison. You know, the irony of being in this incredibly wealthy, incredibly prosperous city and then seeing so many people need food has been shocking today. You know, they emptied 4 trucks like this in order to serve about 800 people, 200 people an hour, pouring through this, where volunteers have been packing up, you know, all the basics of life, milk, onions, potatoes, broccoli in these convenient bags that they then hand out to people, only too grateful to get the help. We asked the director of the food bank here whether they're seeing an uptick since COVID, and what he told us was really shocking. Have a listen.
Pre-COVID, we were serving around 30,000 households every single week. Post-COVID, we're serving around 55,000 households every single week.
And are those people from all walks of life, as far as you can tell?
You know, they are. It's people we served in the past, but now we have a new group of folks, and they come to us. Sometimes they don't know how to navigate the line. Sometimes they're embarrassed. Oftentimes, you know, they self-select out. They think other people need the food more than we do. So we have to encourage them, if they need food assistance for their family, to come and get a bag of food.
You know, really, that new category of family seems to be everywhere across the country, even in places like San Francisco, which, as you pointed out, you know, is home to some of the most successful, most profitable companies in the history of capitalism. So to be here, see so many people need desperate help on the last day of the year is pretty hard to watch, Alice.
Yeah, it really is heartbreaking. So, Jake, let's talk about the economic situation a little bit. Besides 11 weeks of added unemployment benefits for people who have used theirs up, the new stimulus bill also gives people on unemployment an extra $300 a week. So the big question is, when does that start? Is it enough? Can that offer some sort of relief? I mean, to folks, as you said, who are lining up to get food to feed their families, many of them for the first time.
That's right. Well, you know, Allison, I think the first thing to say right is that Secretary Mnuchin is basically saying these checks are going to start arriving immediately. But as with so many things in the coronavirus response, it's going through the states. It's been placed on the states. So these checks are supposed to arrive through state unemployment offices, which, as you know, have been deluged since the beginning of coronavirus. So yeah, that's a little bit scary. That said, right, talking about, you know, can people benefit from $300 extra? Well, think of it this way. We spoke to one man in line here who graciously stepped out of line for us, Mr. Huang, who basically said, you know, he immigrated here about 9 years ago and has been trying to make a go of it. It's been very hard. He has medical bills. He has small children at home. And he said that $300 would make a tremendous difference to him. What would he first do with that? He'd pay rent with it, right? That's the level of survival we're talking about. If you look across the country, Allison, right, there's almost 20 states of the United States that only pay out less than $400 a week in unemployment benefits. In some cases, it's less than $200 a week. So if you imagine what an extra $300 would mean to people in that kind of trouble, it's incredible. And when you think about, you know, $2,000, the prospect of that kind of benefit, think about it this way. Your average 2-bedroom apartment in this city, the city where people lined up around the corner live, is about $2,000. So the need is extraordinary, and I think we lose sight sometimes of just how much even a little bit of extra cash would mean to people.
Yeah, Jake, it is such great perspective because we have worried so much about whether it's enough, is there enough, and it might not be enough. But my goodness, when you're having trouble feeding your family, every little bit counts. Jake Ward, thank you so much for your reporting today and all of your great reporting throughout 2020. Here's to a better year ahead.
Always a pleasure, Allison. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.